Manhunt. So, Meghan, in an attempt to project herself continually and constantly into everybody's living rooms, she decided that the time had come for her to hire a PR agency. And this little business is not cheap. This is costing her $7,500 a month to get these people to help promote her image. And so the agency that she hired was one little agency called Sunshine Sachs. You guys. All right. She's not working with like a bunch of nobodies here. These people are cutthroat. And they have worked for Ben Affleck, Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, Leonardo DiCaprio, Justin Timberlake, Jennifer Lopez, Snoop Dogg, and Natalie Portman. So a bunch of names we actually know. They are a PR company. They're also a crisis management company. So they're here to help just make life real smooth for you. And at $7,500 a month, you guys better be. You know, can you imagine paying that much and like nothing comes of it? I think not. Now, the origins of this particular company, questionable. And the guy who runs it, real questionable. As it stands, the guy who runs it, his name is Ken Sunshine. He's 69 years old. He used to be in politics, and then he became a publicist. And he has big ties with the Democrat Party. He worked with George McGovern, Mario Cuomo, Bill de Blasio, very proudly has worked with the Clintons. I feel like that tells me all I need to know. And this is the thing. People said that this crisis management group might be called Sunshine, but they're up to some murky business. And even Ken Sunshine has said himself, we don't play it safe. We're not genteel. He says we name names and we battle the media when we have to. And people have even said that they go into Wikipedia pages of various clients of theirs, and they will change entries if need be to remove negative material. So right up Meghan's alley. Change the past. You guys are going to do that for me? Absolutely, sign me up. Here's my $7,500 a month to do so. So, I mean, it just sounds like this is a match made in heaven. Sunshine Sachs and Meghan Markle. But the problem is that she just is a nobody. So quite a lot is being asked of these people that they help her. Because, this is like somebody says, I need to, I'm hungry. Where's my plate to put my food on? And somebody hands you a lump of wet clay. You're supposed to make a plate out of this? I mean, there's just nothing here that's suiting anybody's needs. And you'll go on. Like, they keep trying to set her up with stuff. It all falls flat because she's not what they need. Okay. So their earliest attempts to make a star of Meghan began in 2013. And she attended this Elle magazine celebration of West Hollywood women in television. But the media coverage didn't even hardly hit on Meghan. I mean, they didn't even notice her. Like, who would? I don't think I cannot stress enough how little anybody knew Meghan Markle. And I mean, we do know that. We know that we didn't know who she was. But it's just to hear her tell the tale. Now, I'm not saying there was nobody on the planet who knew about her, because come to find out, there were more people than anyone realized who knew her. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it would appear that, it's just shocking. Every time you find out that anyone knew who Meghan Markle was, it's always like, really? You knew who she was? Wow. Because who was she? All right, so the PR team has decided that it's not happening for her here in America. Let's send her over to England. Maybe we can get some traction over there. So they sent her in 2013 over to England, and her first stop was Trinity College in Dublin. Now, at this college, the Philosophical Society had sent out dozens of invitations to different celebrities, hoping to get somebody to answer their invitation to come to their event. And at various times, they had some individuals show up of some note. Angela Merkel, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi. So people that we've heard of had answered the call of the Philosophical Society at Trinity College. Well, this year, not very many people replied. And one of those people was Meghan. And the students were like, oh, well, I mean, nobody even knows her. It was like, it was a blow that this is the only person that they could get. And some of the students were skeptical that anybody in the audience would even know who Rachel Zane was. You know, like, I guess we can have this girl, but I mean, people are going to be disappointed. As it turned out, people showed up to see Meghan Markle, probably because she was like a celebrity from America. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you haven't heard of her, but she is from America and she's from Hollywood, and maybe that's interesting, you know? So the students who'd organized it were shocked by the positive reception that they had, because the pessimists among the group had decided, let's not give her our prestigious honorary patronage award. We got to give her something. She came all this way. But they were prepared to give her this plastic Bram Stoker medal instead, so that they could present her something, but, you know, not offend the masses who'd come to see somebody famous. But, as I've stated, they were surprised. Look who should show up. Well, the students were kind of like in awe of her because she came styled to impress a student audience. You know, she's got this little sweater on, and she's got these distressed skinny jeans, and she's wearing these black stilettos. She's carrying this Louis Vuitton bag. All the sorts of things that would impress a mass of people who just don't know any better. And as it would appear, Suits did have a small following at this college, or at least people who wanted to see her. Now, Meghan gets up and gives a speech all about Rachel Zane. I found that odd. I mean, if you went to go see a celebrity speak at a student event, and then they spend the entire time talking about their character and they almost couldn't separate themselves from the character, I would be disappointed that there wasn't more to the individual. Like, yeah, but like, what do you do when you're not being Rachel, though? Like, what do you have to say to me beyond that? You know? And I'm surprised that anybody was fine with what she got up and said. But apparently the students found her likable, and they admired the way she'd found an ability to play this character so closely to herself. That seemed to impress the students, rather than to note the fact that she's just playing herself. It's not like she brought this character to life off the page that had no resemblance to herself. This is her. But anyway, she gets up, she gives a speech. She says about Rachel Zane as though this is some really deep and meaningful and historic drama on television. She gets up to talk about Rachel Zane, and she's like, Rachel is layered and humanized. Even though she seems so confident, she really has all those insecurities and vulnerabilities, and I relate to that as a woman, and I think fans will too. It's like, what are you even talking about? Why are you coming here to talk about Suits? You haven't been called here to talk about Suits. You're so, like, the student society would like to hear you come and talk about being a woman of the world. You know, what bits of advice do you have for us? We don't want you to hear you sit here and talk about the character of Suits. This isn't like you're on stage at the end of, you know, Sundance Film Festival and they're asking you questions about the movie we just watched. You are here to be more than just this character. I don't know. Disappointing. But I mean, really, quite frankly, what could we have expected Meghan to talk about? Because that's what go on to read in this chapter and in the next. This girl's got nothing going on inside her head. Okay, so after she gets done talking to all the girls, she hustles on down to Dicey's, which was a popular haunt for students to promote E2 drinks. So, I mean, it's just, you know, promotional. I mean, that's why she's here. Thanks to Sunshine Sacks. Well, again, thanks to Sunshine Sacks, she has been paired up with this publicity agent from Insanity Group who had been hired to negotiate publicity for Meghan in the tabloids. So, try as this man might, he cannot get anybody to care that Meghan Markle is in town. He is going to all kinds of gossip and showbiz journalists. He's calling up all of these paparazzi to, you know, will you show up? Will you come? Will you take pictures? Nobody could care less. Why would they waste their time? There's real celebrities in England. So after incessantly pestering this woman named Katie Hind, a junior reporter of the Sunday People, which is a comparatively small circulation paper, so it's not like a big deal at all, but finally he manages to get somebody to care, somebody take a bite. He gets Katie Hind to reluctantly agree to a meeting with Meghan. So, you guys, I feel so sorry for Katie Hind. Okay, because when we go on to discuss what they talked about at this little girl meeting, it is the stuff of nightmares. Okay, so they meet together on this rooftop of Sanctum Soho Hotel. What a shock. They're both drinking Prosecco. And in her engaging way, Tom Bauer says she's got an engaging way. I think that she just has this way about her in which she tries to pretend like she's really laying on some intimate details about herself. Like, sorry, TMI, but I'm gonna go ahead and share. Like that whole attitude. She tells Katie Hine that she's just not really keen on American men. And she's just discounted finding anybody in America. It's just not gonna happen for her. American men are just the worst. And she says that by contrast, she likes Englishmen. And these are her two selling points about why Englishmen are so much better. Number one, they call women darling. Do you guys call women darling? And number two, they're suckers for a compliment. So this is the big thing. This is what sets British men apart. The fact that they have a nickname that she prefers, and the fact that they are manipulable and that she can manage them by just throwing out a couple of compliments. I mean, Harry is unfortunately proof that this is possible, because how many times did she met out little compliments to him to keep coming back? But anyway, this is what she thinks of you. British men. Be offended. You're more than calling women darling, and you're not an idiot that just stumbles over themselves for a dumb compliment. Anyway, this is why she says she needs an Englishman. And she keeps wondering if, Katie Hine might know somebody. And she says that she believes, she can find her own man in England. I mean, it'd be awesome if you know somebody, but I can probably find my own guy because I am awesome at networking. It's going to probably be no thing for me once, because I have developed networking down to a fine art. These are her words. That she knows how to network, and that she's developed it to a fine art. The whole concept of networking to me is gross. Use people. I'm gonna use you, you use me. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Gross. Okay, well, anyway, she's over here bragging about herself. Katie Hine is bemused. I mean, she's, okay, good for you, But anyway, unexpectedly, the conversation takes another turn. I just can't with this. It's too good. Okay, so she says to Katie, what do you know about Ashley Cole? Because he's kind of after me in a little way. So here's a picture of him, and she gets out her phone and she shows him a picture. She shows Katie a picture of Ashley Cole, who's the footballer for England and Chelsea. And which obviously is the British term. In America, we would say he's a soccer player, but I'm trying to use the right words. Okay, so anyway, he plays for Chelsea in England. And Meghan says that Cole has been following her on Twitter. Amazing, right? And she says that they've been exchanging messages. He's all up in my DMs. Could you believe it? So what do you think about him? Kind of a catch, right? And Katie Hine's like, do not go down the road with that guy. That guy is such a cheater. He's constantly cheating on his wife. His lifestyle is very erratic. I do not think that this is the man. This is not the Englishman that you are looking for. Meghan's like, no, what? Super disappointed. She can't, but for a little digging, you could have found out the guy was married. And are you just okay with that? That this married guy is messaging you? That you and him have this little thing going on Twitter off on the side? This is just A-okay to you? Okay. That's one way to live your life. But an interesting little side note here is that Ashley Cole says, Meghan Markle, we never had a thing. No, the cast of Suits, according to Cole, the cast of Suits sent me a message. They said that they were fans or something. But Meghan and I don't have a thing going on. And he says that nothing's happened and he doesn't really know what she was talking about. But see, I call BS on this because all of his friends on the side have been saying, oh yeah, Ashley's always talking about the fact that Meghan Markle's after him. I mean, he says that she is chasing him, but there's something going on there. Okay, let's just talk, you and I. Both of them acting foolishly, if you ask me. Both of them messaging back and forth. Now, Cole, she's divorced. Now, it's in his best interest to act like it's all on her, that she's the one that's been coming after him like some kind of a maniac. However, what we do know about Meghan is that she would come after somebody like a maniac. What I think is that he and she were definitely talking, but now he's got to play it off like it was like no thing. But that's kind of a lame excuse. Like he recalls that the cast of Suits sent him a message. What cast of any show gets together and gathers around the computer and goes, hey, come on, you guys, let's all together go in and send a little message to Ashley Cole, tell him we're big fans. I mean, I don't know what kind of cast does that. Like, what is that? So I don't buy that excuse. That's lame. I think we can all agree that Cole and Meghan are together, talking back and forth, being flirty, and she was hoping to turn that into something when she came to England, and he was definitely like, oh, just having fun, just wasting time. Okay, so she's over there being shady as all get out. Anyway, so after poor Katie Hind, can you imagine listening to this the whole time? Her showing you pictures on the phone of somebody that you're well acquainted with. You know who the guy is. It's not a big deal. He's kind of a big philanderer anyway. They finish the conversation by bemoaning the fact that they're both 32 years old and single, and they don't have any prospects, and they don't have any idea of how to get any prospects. And then Meghan just kind of ended the night by going back to her hotel. And Hind was just like, this girl is just craves publicity. And I'm not really interested in giving her another platform because there's no story here. This girl's boring. Nothing that we talked about tonight was of worth, note. I don't care. So Meghan made no waves there at Katie Hind's paper. Okay, well she's not ready to go home yet. She's got other engagements. So now she's supposed to be going to this fashion gala with the model Oliver Cheshire. She didn't know this guy. But she's standing there on the red carpet, holding his hand. She just wanted nothing more than have her photo in the tabloid papers the next day. She just prayed for it. Somebody care. But the editors just rejected her. Because the readers had no interest in Miss Nobody. Nobody's going to pick up the paper to read about a celebrity you don't even know. Who cares? So it continues to get worse. While she is at this event, she meets this individual named Lizzyundy, who, according to Tom Bauer, is a glamour-seeking TV personality. I don't know this person. Maybe y'all do. But anyway, over a drink, Meghan confesses that Hollywood has just been so brutal to her. And she's had such a hard time getting a leg up in that absolute rat race. But maybe in England, she can finally have her breakthrough. And she says that her ambition is to be featured on an English reality TV show like Made in Chelsea or something like that. And then she says that she really wants an English boyfriend. So she starts peddling that Ashley Cole story again. Girl, it's not happening. This Lizzyundy isn't going to suddenly tell you a different story. This Ashley Cole is over there cheating on his wife right, left, and center, okay? Everybody knows this. So it's not going to be a different story. And what do you think, like Lizzyundy's got some kind of in with you? If you and this guy are over here messaging on Twitter 24/7, you guys just can't stay out of each other's DMs. You don't need to have an in with all these ladies. You could just be like, hey, I'm here. You want to hang out? You know what I mean? But like, she doesn't have what she's even trying to say she has. Okay, so anyway, I want to be on a reality show. And I want to get an English boyfriend. Then she says, and this is where I was just like, this is so embarrassing for you. She says to Lizzie, do you know any famous guys? I'm single and I really love English men. Do you know anyone who's free? This is so embarrassing. Like, stop begging, get up off the floor. Quit groveling. Like, this is just humiliating to read. Do you know any famous guys? I'm single. Do you know anyone who's free? I'm free. Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody? You know anybody? It's like, oh my gosh, please stop. Once again, she brings up Ashley Cole. He's following me on Twitter. Cundy's own marriage to a football player was on the rocks, and she was not interested in sending Meghan down some trail with this Ashley Cole individual. And so she's like, no, I don't think you need to get involved with him, or quite frankly, any other footballer, because these guys are living, they're running their own program and it doesn't involve wives. Well, Meghan was disappointed. So at the end of the evening, she goes her way, Lizzie goes hers, and there's no pictures in the paper. Nobody cared that she was there. There was one passing mention in the Daily Mail, but there was no picture. So, I mean, if you don't know Meghan, you're not going to suddenly connect the dots. Oh, yeah, I know that face, Well, it continues to get even more cringy. I just didn't know it was possible. I didn't know that anyone could act like this. So Sunshine Sachs has booked her an appearance at a TV gala, and they've also arranged for her to meet this guy named Jonathan Shalit, who was a successful and very likable TV agent. She tells him, this TV agent, I want to be a TV celebrity chef like Gordon Ramsay. Doesn't that require some cooking knowledge, right? I mean, I'm sorry. What are you talking about? You want to be like Gordon Ramsay, a celebrity chef, but you don't know how to cook. You can't just want to do things, but you don't have any skill level. What is this? Would it be like Gordon Ramsay? Dear girl, do you not understand the way the world works? Are you so confused? Okay, so she's like, yeah, I want to do that. Or, I'd be happy to be here on, really any kind of nondescript TV show. Whatever you got, I'm here for it. But really, because I'm such a foodie, I'd love to do something with food. And Charlotte was excited about Meghan because she does have an engaging personality. She can make a good first impression. She was charming and good looking. And, she's got a small audience on Suits. So he thought maybe there was something that they could do along these lines, And the problem is he was just so unaware of Meghan's lack of skills, right? I mean, Tom Bauer writes, other than blender-made vegetable soup, her specialties were plain pasta, roast chicken, barbecued hamburgers, and steak. So basically anything anybody could make. She was, up to par on those things. The rest of her food was bought ready-made. Okay, so this is going to be a real problem if you're going to be a celebrity chef. Also, how celebrity chef? You're neither a celebrity nor a chef. So explain to me why anyone would tune into this. So she then begins to flesh out her idea. And so she's like, well, okay, rather than cook, I'll be, like the face of the TV program, and I'll just tour the world eating different things, and you guys can film me. And that's an idea for a show right there. That's an idea for a show. No, it's not. Who cares what your opinion of food is? And Tom Bauer goes on to remind us that she was in this short video of tasting pickles in Brooklyn for Aura TV, and it really exposed her limitations. Boy, does it ever. I went and I found this clip. And my problem here is that Meghan she's pleasant in the video. She's not mean or anything. But if you are here to taste a bunch of different pickles, which is what she's doing, there's pickled okra, there's pickled green beans, there's pickled cucumbers, there's all kinds of pickled things. And she and Haley Duff, of all people, are over here sampling the pickles of Brooklyn. And, she's just eating all of it. That's good. I like that one's good. I taste some cumin. But it's it's not interesting if you like everything. If everything, it's her descriptions of what she were eating, uninteresting. She didn't have anything to be like, oh, this one's really good. I don't know about this one over here. If you like everything, why am I watching? Because that's not interesting. What are your varied opinions about the different pickles? What is really good? What's not good? You know what I'm saying? It's not a review if everything is the same good.
And like you said,
cheers, girl. Oh, wow.
It's also got really nice flavor.
Yeah?
It is like Thanksgiving.
Right?
See, I'm interested in the Oprah situation here.
Bottoms up.
There we go. The taste
It
of
gets
cumin.
better and better as you
The
go.
smokiness.
It's usually a texture thing for people.
People don't like that sliminess on the inside of okra.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so anyway, she tastes the pickles, and it's clear that she has no magic or magnetism when it comes to food. So the program idea just sort of evaporated. And then poor Shallot's trying to find something for her to do, and he says, well, maybe I could get you an audition for Strictly Come Dancing. But she can't do that because the filming schedule for that clashes with her Suits filming. So she's got to go home. Her little journey to England came to naught. She's got to return to Toronto with neither work nor new man. What a crushing blow.